CCTV Camera World is proud to provide support for products purchased from our website. If you purchased your product from another vendor, please contact the vendor you purchased from for further assistance. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the PC software to live view your security cameras from your system or a standalone security camera. First, I'm going to click the Live View button from the control panel or home page of the software. It's going to open up a new tab called Live View 1. On the left hand side, I can see what devices I have added to the software. Here I have added a 4-channel NVR to the software. I can expand the cameras that are added to the NVR by clicking the plus button next to the NVR entry. And here I can see the cameras that are connected. To bring a camera stream in, I can select a grid on my grid screen here and then double click that camera to bring it into that grid that I have selected. The same is true if I selected the grid 4 and then double clicked channel 3. Now if I wanted to bring this camera in, I can also drag and drop a camera to the grid screen where I would like that camera to appear. If I wanted to close all of the camera streams, I would right click anywhere on the screen and click the Close All button. Now I'm going to bring that front PTZ camera back into this first grid by clicking and dragging it, and then I can double click that camera to bring it into the full screen. You can also use digital zoom by navigating to the bottom left hand side of a given camera channel and then clicking the Enable Digital Zoom button. The red icon next to the digital zoom button means that the digital zoom mode is enabled. Now to use digital zoom, I can click and drag to make a shape. I'm going to click and drag to make a rectangular shape to digitally zoom in on our front door sign here. To exit the digital zoom mode, I can click the digital zoom icon. Now as you can see, I am still in the full screen view. If I wanted to get away from this full screen view, I could come up here and click the X icon. And then to get back to my 4-camera grid view, I need to come down here to the Layout button. Now clicking this Layout button will show all of the available layouts that this software has to offer. The 1-camera grid view is basically the full screen view we are in. The 4-camera grid view is good for a 4-channel system that we have in this example. So I'm going to select that. And then the other options range from 4 all the way up to 64 channels. For example, if you have an 8-camera system, you're going to want to use a 8 or 9-camera grid view. If you have a 16-channel system, you're going to want to use a 16-camera grid view, and so on. The number of channels that you can actually view really depends on how powerful your computer is. If you want to view more than 8 channels at a time, you're going to want a pretty significantly powerful computer to view all of those camera streams at the same time. There are some other buttons down here, such as saving a camera grid view, closing all of the views, doing a local snapshot recording to the computer, or even recording video to the local computer. Now these will save these files to the default locations set in the software's settings. You can also bring cameras substream views into the screen by right-clicking that channel or camera and then choosing the substream option. It's brought in the lower resolution substream option when I chose that. To switch to the mainstream, I'm just going to right-click that same channel and then click the mainstream. Here I have the substream on the left-hand view and then the mainstream on the right-hand view. I'm going to go ahead and close these two cameras to show you how to create a favorite view. So let's say I wanted to create a warehouse view with just my warehouse cameras. I'm going to bring those two cameras into channel 1 and grid view 2. And then I can click the Save View button. It's going to ask me to name this view, and I'm going to name it Warehouse. Now I can right click to close this view. And to access that saved view, I need to hover over the left hand side. Here is the video channel option that shows all of the added devices, and then this view option shows the views that are set. Then I can go to the custom view folder, and my warehouse view is saved there. To access it, I can click the play button. Now it's going to pull up my favorite view that I just saved, named Warehouse, with my 2 warehouse cameras. I'm going to close out of these 2 views. And let's say I wanted to view multiple locations at a time, or I wanted to have two separate windows viewing different channels. Now to do this, I'm going to actually go back to the video channel option, and here I have live view 1. To create a second live view window, I need to go back to my control panel. And then I'm going to click the live view button again. It's going to create another window called live view 2, and I'm going to add my front PTZ and my parking lot camera to this view. I'm going to click back on live view 1. This tab has no cameras added, and then I'm going to pull in my favorite view, warehouse, into the live view 1 window. Now I have live view 1 window and live view 2 windows, both viewing different cameras. Here I have the front office and the outdoors, and then in live view 1 I have the warehouse. Now if I wanted to view both of these live view windows at the same time, what I would do is first going to minimize the size of the software, and then I can click and drag this window out much like a web browser. So it's going to click and make that a new window. I can do the same for live view 2. Click and drag onto my desktop to make a new window. Now I have my live view 1 and my live view 2 in separate windows. I can maximize these windows, minimize them, or I can drag those views around. Last but not least, if your camera supports audio, you can access the audio recording by clicking the Turn Audio On button at the bottom. This camera also happens to be a smart detection camera with VCA enabled, or the smart detection rules. If I didn't want this overlaid on top of my camera channel, I would simply right click that camera channel and then click the disable VCA rule option. I can also change my stream type here. And to get those rules back, I just right click and click the enable VCA rule. Now keep in mind, this is not disabling your rules or preventing them from working, it's just toggling the overlay of the rules on the video. Hopefully this video helps give you some neat tips and tricks for live viewing your security camera system. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.